Welcome to Faith into Action podcast. Thanks for joining us today as we navigate faith and our journey with our biblical worldview in today's culture. If you enjoy our podcast, please be sure to like the video, leave comments, and subscribe to our channel. There are links on the YouTube homepage to our social media accounts on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram where you can find more content. Now let's join Eric and Jerry in their discussion for this week.
All right, welcome back. So it's been a couple weeks since we had a live update. We've actually done an episode in between, but we lost it again. But I think we solved the technology problem. Hopefully, everything's being recorded locally, and then we can get it all updated later or uploaded later for everybody to listen to. So hopefully this solves these issues for us. But today is actually the new year. So we just wrapped up 2024 and we are kicking off 2025 of this morning. So this is first full day, almost in the wraps now.
First on the first.
The first on the first. First locally recorded podcast on the first of 2025. So that's kind of what I wanted to get into and talk about a little bit today. But first off, how was your New Year's? Anything exciting?
Oh man, I'm trying. That was yesterday, that's today. I'm sorry, New Year's is tonight. And this night today, I worked all day yesterday and today, selfishly on my own projects. I say selfishly. I should be doing somebody else's, but we took off today, but I did sleep in, so I got up about 7:30, and
I know you texted me last night at like 11.
But I was been ready to the
Yeah, I had already catched it.
I made it to I think I made it to almost 4 o'clock. Don't know how. It just kept me going. Yeah, I've been working on some built-ins, last day and a half, and got that finished, and so I'm starting the new year with the new closet, which is nice. I have an older home, an 80s model home. Personally, problems I know to have an older home. But
An old home less than 50 years old.
You're right. So our closets are small, and when I say small, they're small, and so I did some reorganization. I don't know why now. 6-7 years in the house.
I haven't been here that long.
Yes, sir.
So, but you. So last night it was, of course, my kids are a little bit, I'm guessing, average about 4 or 5 years younger than yours. So still in that very little phase. So we outsmart them, and we watch the ball drop. Typically, we watch a YouTube from the previous year ball drop. And if we watch that, we're Happy New Year. They don't know the difference. Last time we watched a Bluey cartoon. They did they had like a minute countdown, and we kicked it in. The New Year ends, quote unquote, around 8:30 last night, and we were all cashing.
It was midnight somewhere. It was midnight 30 somewhere.
Obviously, our original plan was we were going to watch it from Brazil. Watch the ball drop in Brazil, because 9 p.m. our time, Central Time in the U.S., is midnight in Brazil. So we're going to watch the ball drop in Brazil at 9 p.m., call it a night. But about 7:45, 8 o'clock, the youngest was starting to get a little tired. And so we're like, we're going to have to speed this up a little bit. But I did get to do something kind of cool today. Some friends of my wife's. I did not participate. I wouldn't watch. I was a spectator, but they do a polar bear plunge in their pools on New Year's Day. I didn't think I watched that. It was entertaining to watch, but that's about all the excitement in the year. So nothing. I didn't do anything too crazy. Didn't do the polar bear plunge, but it was nice to be around some friends today. Just hanging out.
A shower, and that was the highlight night. Was it? Not I showered in 2025. Yeah. So it's starting the year off right.
Just thinking back, like this last year has been a whirlwind. Like when you look at everything that happened culturally and for me personally, I'm just thinking back on the year. It was a very rewarding year. God blessed me a lot. 20 we had some medical scares with my daughter, but like everything was couldn't have worked out more perfectly. Like it was just very good. I mean, God was very good to me through it. I was thinking about like even starting the podcast in 2024, stepping out. For me, that's a pretty big thing because you know me pretty well, and you know that I'm in general a pretty reserved guy, pretty shy. Especially put me in a setting of a lot of people. I'm pretty reserved. So me putting myself out here like this is, in general, a pretty big step for me. So looking back on 2024, pretty rewarding.
You're a relationship guy. Like you open up when you feel comfortable or you trust, whoever you're opening up is trustworthy. And that's something when you're putting it out there.
Right.
We might or might not know. I have no idea. No relationship with some folks, which is exciting.
And yeah, it's exciting for me. Is that fear of rejection is has popped up numerous times for me with this, but moving into 2025, and we had some pre-conversation before we started recording, but 2020, that's kind of where I'm just trying to be a little more bold with it and bold with my faith and let my faith lead me instead of me trying to lead my faith. Me letting my maybe insecurities, I guess, prevent me from being bold with my stepping out of the box.
Yeah. I have a men's very spoiler alert. I was going to text them and say, tell them this is the year that we have to be leaders. We have to be men.
Follow that.
So I'm glad you said that about being bold because I get worried. Not really for the lost. I get anxious with the lost because I feel like we're getting nearer. Obviously we're getting nearer. I get worried about the Christian, the real Christian, that they don't get caught up in some of the stuff we've been through this past year, the divisiveness and the polar opposites on everything. There's hardly any middle ground on any issues.
I think the word you used last when we were talking about stuff is fanatic.
Fanatical.
Whichever way you are, you're encouraged culturally to be fanatical on it, whether you're conservative or progressive.
And I believe that's how they want. Yeah. That's exactly, so when we respond like that, we're playing into their hands. And I say their hands, and I honestly think there's an evilness, not 100% in everybody in, everything, but you know what I mean? I think there is a spiritual warfare going on that is rooted itself in people and politics and issues, division and all that stuff. I worry about the Christian because we're not supposed to be, I think we talked about it like the first podcast we did, we're not supposed to be isolated. We didn't talk really, isolation has been a key of our conversation for a few weeks. Our pastor says, and I love it, he said, we're not to be isolated as Christians. We should be insulated with the Holy Spirit because, I just finished Matthew a few weeks ago. The last thing Jesus said is go. He didn't say stay home.
Right.
Stay home and bunker down and hide and always surround yourself with your kind. He's like, go. Right? go and make disciples, preaching the name and baptizing. All the good, great commission. We all know it. Hobby Lobby has them on some. But the reality is, in 2025, we have to go. When you have to go, we should have already been going. I'm not saying that you're not going, but I have to go more. I have to go more.
All of us, the church just in general has been so quiet and so reserved, in fear of offending people for our beliefs. And I say it in almost every episode that we've recorded together, but that, compassion being confused with, and so I feel like the church has been that way, or that capitulated to everything that the cultural has been pushed as cultural norm. They've just said, okay, we'll go along with it, rather than saying, well, no, that's not what we believe. That's not what the Bible says. That's not what Jesus taught us. And when you think about right after the Great Commission and all the disciples that went out, they didn't just go out to Christian communities. They
What's the point?
they didn't just go to their local church and say, hey, what the guy said last week was right. We're just backing it up. They went out and they boldly spoke. They really boldly spoke. And
To death. Yeah, to death. So,
I mean, they
this.
this is what we believe, and we stand by it. And we are not going to waver or be tossed among the sea. We're not going to be lukewarm. We're going to be on fire, and we are going to stand for what we believe. And we're going to tell you what we believe and tell you how it is so perfect for you. And I don't care who you are. What we believe is so perfect for you. The love of Jesus is so perfect for you, no matter who you are or whatever situation you're in, whatever you're going through in life. The answer is only found through Jesus Christ. Whatever that He is the truth.
Here's the woman at the well. That story is that not? So many Christians are confused on how to spread the gospel in this kind of world. Like, this world is so different than the Roman Empire. All this stuff was going on then. I mean, nothing's new under the sun, right?
No, it's all
So, you go to that story. In 2025, Christians are going to be asking, how do I spread the gospel? And I'm like, are you reading your Bible? All you're going to do is look how Jesus spread the gospel. He met people. We talked about that, I think, off camera. You meet people where they are. You love them no matter where they are. But you tell them the truth.
right.
He didn't bash that lady. He didn't protest that lady, hold up signs, call her name, spit on her. He's like, what you're doing, it's not fulfilling. You need to be in me and to get fulfilled, and simply go sit. Now, I really paraphrase that, but just go sin no more.
Right.
Which we know His grace is going to take care of those slip ups as long as we're in Him. Well, no, but that's the nutshell. But how are we to do that if I can't stand them because you're this way and I'm that way, or whatever way different? If I can't even sit down with you, it's anti-biblical to be divisive. I think I say anti-biblical. I'm open for correction. So 2025 is how do we how you're wording, boldly go and actually introduce people to the gospel the correct way, as Jesus did.
So I was thinking, before me and you text earlier this week, we've been texting a little bit, and we're talking about, we normally record on Sundays, and today's a Wednesday night that we're recording. You weren't feeling well earlier in the week, and so we were texting. I was like, well, it worked out good, because I was wanting to talk a little bit about like what it was like traditions of a new year and stuff. So we're going in, we want to be more bold. So first off, like, I've never even asked you this. We've been friends for a decade, and I don't even know, like, are you a New Year's resolution kind of person? Do you do that? Do you set goals or change your way of thought or anything like that for New Year's? Or have you ever?
No, I mean, and not in a negative. I mean, there's just no awareness of me for that. Does that make sense? Like I get it. Like if people want to start their calendar year planning, and I mean, my planning has already started. You know what I mean? My life is just if I'm the next day, this is what I got to do, or if I'm here next day. You know, when you get into kind of metrics and stuff like my business, we look at calendar years and that kind of stuff. And, we hope to do more this year, obviously, things like that. Those are kind of understood, but I wake up January 1 and say, I want to lose some weight this year, and I think this is probably a big one.
No, I mean,
But
probably. I think the stats were it was like 40 to 60%.
Planet Fitness is off the chain right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I started that 3 months ago. Just this. Some people were waiting 3 months, like I was started the new year. I'm like, we're going to gain 20 pounds.
You told him you were 20 pounds.
I'm sorry, I made that long, but to answer your point, no, but I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't because I think it's a negative thing or a positive. I think it's just that some people like that. I'm always planning, always looking down the line. I don't like to prepare too long, which might be a fault of mine because things change so much. And you can put a lot of work into a plan that falls apart outside of your own doing. But no.
So I'm a little opposite. I kind of do more of a New Year's resolution, but for me, typically, I usually, much like you, start before the first of the year. So I've already started a little bit of mine, but I was thinking about this. I think it was last week, and I was thinking there was a teacher I had in high school that she was my English teacher in high school, and I hated going to her classes. Because she pushed me so hard. She really challenged me. But she's the teacher I remember the most, and I have the most respect for now. She had this poster or picture on her door that says, "Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." So, so what I do from that little thing is I set myself always try to set myself lots of goals, because even if I miss 75% of the goals, I still made 25% that I probably weren't going to do if I did set. So, I've set myself 3 goals personally that builds into the one goal, the ultimate goal. So I'm going to set myself 3 goals this year. Work on my mind. I'm going to work on reading more, learning more vocabulary. That is things that I'm going to work on, because I want to work on being smarter, healthier, because I did get in pretty good shape a couple of years ago, but then kind of meandered off and didn't really stick to my didn't stick with my plan. So get back to that, because it really focuses me on in the morning. And Dory, spiritually, and at church this past week, my father-in-law actually spoke. He always speaks a little sermonette at the beginning. He's kind of the intro speaker. And he said something that just resonated with me, because he's like, spending more time in prayer with God. What he said, the analogy he made is like, because he's a big golfer, and you'll go out on the golf course, and he's like, man, I go out and golf for 5 hours. It feels like nothing, like no time.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of spending 5 hours in prayer, that's mind blowing to most of us. So I'm like, shutting stuff down, walking away from the phone, and just getting a place where it's silence. Working on that with me. And I'll be honest, it's to just sit there and just try to focus on God for 20, 30 minutes. My mind wanders. I start thinking about other things, but then you finally start getting to a point where you start shutting some of that off.
Mm-hmm.
and started opening up more clear communication. Just you get away from that. Thank you for my food today. Watch out for me as we go through the day. And not to say that's bad in any way. You're having conversation with God, but you get past that.
When it matures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get because that conversation with God is you're conversing with God. It's a great thing. But it's like you're conversing with somebody you don't really know. And you get past that. Much like we said at the beginning, like me opening up. Like I don't open up to people. The first day we met, we didn't go into deep conversations. 3 months in, we're having deep conversations. And so I want those deep conversations and seeking that two-way conversation with God. So I say that because it's like mind, body, and spirit is the things that I'm working on this year. Because as I can't remember if this was recorded or it was before we even started recording, but some insecurity, the me and not being bold enough. Yeah, that was reported. And so working on those to give me more of that confidence to be more bold as I go into 2025. And you say, you know what? No matter what I'm doing, as long as I'm speaking about God and I'm speaking the truth of Jesus and I'm trying to spread the word of Jesus, it's not in vain. Whether you or anybody else in the world sees it as a feather in my cap or whatever, that's not the point. That's not the point, whether I get accolades from that human experience. What I do get is God sees that I'm speaking for him. And that is the ultimate goal.
Speaking, I like when you said you just spend more time. We eventually, in that 30 minutes, you might not. I want to encourage people to do that, and even not to fill it up all with prayer. That's where sometimes that's where I go wrong. I do all the talk. I loved it when you said, "Listen, you're here for God." I need to hear more of God, because as soon as I'm done praying, I'm out. Like it's only been a one-way street. I don't give any time for response or meditation on what I even petitioned or praised for. Does that make sense?
Right.
And then to even listen to it and obey it or disobey it is irrelevant, because I'm not even around to hear it. I'm not hoping to hear it. And once I get going, all right, check. Right. Prayer time, make read scripture, check. And I'm off. Right. And then God's really cool. Sometimes he'll do something just to shut things down, or you know what I mean, to slow you down, just to kind of maybe grab your attention back. I need to give God a longer offering to speak to me.
Jeremiah 29:13. You seek me, you will find, when you seek me with all your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where we fail a lot of times, because when seek when it's convenient, or when I'll seek you on Saturday whenever I'm not working, and I'll seek you when I have the time, but it's I do seek him wholeheartedly. Are we willing to shut off that phone? Are we willing to turn that TV off? Are we willing to shut down for a minute and say, hey, it's not about this worldly stuff right now. It's about you. I'm thinking.
I mean, I think it's okay. Put your phone down, turn the TV off. It's okay to tell the kids, do not bother me. I'm going to go speak to God real quick, on whatever it is. I think whatever you got to do, obviously, lightweight, don't yell at your kids, but what I mean. At the room, because if we are to go, be bold and go, we need, if we're not hearing from God and looking, I feel like our going will be easily astray. You know, if we haven't heard and sought direction and peace about what we're to do, how, you know what, you get what I'm saying? Then it seems like, all right, I'm going, right? We're back to I'm going to be bold rather than God be bold through me, in me, through me, you know, show yourself, you know, kind of a thing. That's, if I had a resolution, it would be that to hear and listen. Obviously, I want to obey. I'm not always going to. And to me, I just want to get to where I hear them. And I have heard them. And it was amazing. And I'm wondering, well, I hadn't heard from God. I'm letting say, you know, heard. Still up. I'm not listening. I'm not giving him an opportunity to speak to me. I'm the only one doing the talk.
It's a one-way conversation.
One-way conversation. It's a frank conversation.
It's not. And I make the joke sometimes, but it's a reality. So look, too often when we're in prayer, we're praying to God like he's Brother William from Aladdin. He's like, just put God that, hey, I need you to do this for me, and this for me. All right, I'll come back whenever you've done that. And we're there asking what we want and not what his will is.
Man, I wish we had recorded. That's with us, that's the journey, because we want to be, when I say we, I want to be the man.
All of us want to be.
You know,
It's just our human nature, really.
I'm going to succeed today. I'm starting with I'm going to provide for my family. I am going to do that. I want some credit. And none of it's not. And I'm saying that. Not even meaning I'm good at it. I'm not just saying it because I do it. I'm just saying because I need to. Most things I say are what I actually need to do. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways, but
You get some notes over there.
you know, you got me on this resolution thing, and I have a resource called GodCrushes.org. They have an app if you're into that app stuff. You can ask it any question that you want. It gives you biblical response based on, and trust me, you're not going to be the only one to ask that question. They got millions of questions long, but they take you right to the verse. And if it's not necessarily has a biblical response, for instance, like resolutions,
Right.
it'll give you some insight on resolutions. So what I found out,
There's no verse in Exodus like thou shalt
now,
not.
Do that really?
you know, I mean, resolutions have been going predate Jesus. They said people historically have been practicing resolutions for 3,000 years to the Babylonians. And so,
I know that.
you know, even though there's nothing, as you alluded to, biblically spoken about resolutions, the hot topic is like, what kind of resolutions should a Christian set? Because shouldn't our resolutions be Jesus-minded in a way? You know, if they're going to be fulfilled because of Jesus, or, you know, Jesus in us, right? Jesus through us out. And what kind of resolutions should we make as a Christian? That's an interesting question.
What you got?
Well, we already talked about losing weight. Losing that bit, but losing weight, quit drinking, eat better, quit smoking, all the stuff,
The go-to.
the go-tos,
Yeah.
what we've, toxicity in our bodies. But
I mean, I come from grocery industry, so, you know, like losing weight, there is a lot of thought that goes into that in the grocery industry of preparing for January 1st.
and so it says, however, 1 Timothy 4:8, it instructs us to keep exercise in perspective. It says, for physical training is of some value, godliness has value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. Then, it says, the vast majority of New Year's resolutions, even among Christians, are relation to physical things. That's why it was also when you said yours was spiritual. Yours was like, I want to be connected and spend more time with God. And honestly, that's the exercise we need. We need physical health, right? And I'm speaking from a beacon of physical health, at the pinnacle of my physical health career. A resolution shouldn't become an idol. You shouldn't take away, right? I would suggest anything that we do that subtracts any of our effort towards getting closer to Christ wouldn't be a good resolution. Doesn't mean we can't make resolutions. You talked about earlier in your workouts. If you want to work out, Mel, that's cool, because in your workouts you're having
prayer time. And I typically I would read during my workout.
Get my point done. So that the Bible says nothing about not doing, but we just use 1 Timothy as just an exercise thing. So what you notice, it doesn't say it's of no value. It doesn't say you shouldn't exercise. I did not say that. But it says it does have value, but holiness and godliness has benefits on both sides of life.
Right.
Exercise by itself, aside from God, is not going to sustain you.
It's not,
in the afterlife. That's a weird thing to say. In our eternity.
Yeah.
It's
very temporary.
No. Then we should be stewards. So everybody here, we should do our best to take care of ourselves and be healthy, but not at the reduction of our spiritual health, whatever that. And that's up to us to manage. That looks different for everyone. Kid, a parent is different from a single person, because you know that. I mean, everything.
Sliding spectrum for everybody.
But what I would argue is that your godliness and holiness shouldn't be a sliding spectrum.
Yeah. It should always be first.
Right.
So, because none of this has been rehearsed, so we had our text conversation was, I think I want to talk about New Year's resolutions, and that was pretty much the end of this. So I like that you bring that up, because I haven't. I'll be honest, I didn't do any research on verses from a New Year's resolution standpoint. I did some on what I was planning to do in the year in biblical verses that back that. So two different perspectives of going to it. But you bring that up, and I'm like, kind of gives me some encouragement personally, because what I was saying, mind, body, and spirit are the things that I want to work on to give me the confidence to be more bold about Jesus. So it's really all comes, like, everything that I'm wanting to work on personally from a resolution standpoint, personally, is really for the glory of God, the ultimate goal.
It's that easy, right?
So yeah. It's great. It's super easy. My alarm will go off at 3:30 every morning. So yeah, it's gonna be super easy. Just get up, breathe, spend time in prayer, work out before the kids get up, and keep that alarm going. At 3:30 in the morning.
That's why you need a worship song to go off. You need like Amazing Grace, series. The bit only imagining or gratitude or something.
I feel like I'm gonna need more of like That's Who I Praise, like something big. Some maybe some skill or something just to chill. Just a run birthday in the morning, get me going. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like setting goals, even if I fail on some destinational goal of saying I want to lift this much weight or lose this much weight or read this number of books or whatever, even if I fail on those, I will progress. But most importantly, even if I fail on it, learning how to pray to God for an hour every day this year, even if I fail on that goal. And what if I learned to pray for 45 minutes every day or 30 minutes every day? Yeah. Open conversation. You know, a lot of times, right, a lot of times I think people give up on resolutions because they're like, it's, I was going to lose weight the last 5 years. I set that goal and I never did lose weight. It makes me think about what I was saying about my high school teacher saying, shoot for the moon if you miss or on this earth. And then I thought about, me and you from our past, being around substances. So we've been around addicts in our life. What if I've been around a lot of recovered addicts. And most of them weren't successful in their time.
Probably not with problems, but because I had that tendency for a long time. Is a year's a long time, and a year is almost like a pass not to get started immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is bad behavior just leads to more bad behavior and so forth and so on. So on one day. So maybe for me, micro goals. Here's my top 4 things that I want to do this year. I want to do this one the first quarter. I want to do this one the second quarter. Or these are the 4 things you know what I mean? Or what do you, because that's how I am. I'm not a procrastinator with like business and, work ethic and stuff, but I am in personal, you know what I mean? Personal desires. I'm just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow,
I approach it a little different because that year is a long. It's to say I'm going to do that for the year. Like, is that maybe the ultimate goal? Yes, that's the ultimate goal, but I've really set it on tomorrow. That's what.
Hope it doesn't stop.
Hope it goes on tomorrow, and then I'm going to do it tomorrow. And after I do it tomorrow for 7 days, then I've done it for a week, and then I'm going to do it tomorrow. And next thing I know, it's a month in. And it's 6 weeks, and then 2 months or whatever. And that's how I have achieved a lot of goals in the past. And then, but the thing is people, we tend to give up to you quit. Yeah, I mean,
we don't even start.
What do they say? January 10th is quit day. National. I believe it's January 10th. They say it's quit day because there were people like, having a good run that first week, but then that second week, I meant this. I heard a pastor. I think it was Pastor Alan Jackson say, he was talking to his congregation about reading the Bible in a year. And he said, you know what? You're going to miss it. Doesn't mean it's over for you. Just pick it up the next day. We get hard on ourselves, and then when we get hard on ourselves, we crack that door open and let the devil in. And he is going to beat us to death over that.
Here's the thing, that the cracked door is still an open door. We just opened the door. I remember one year, I missed the middle 6 months. I came in October, having to catch up 9 months. So the 6 I missed, and but I did. I was like, listen, triple a day, but give yourself some grace, right? And or God will give you grace, so you give yourself a little bit of grace, but not, just
not a get out of jail free card.
No,
just something that I don't have to because it's going to be okay. But hey, I screwed up.
It should cost you something in your head.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you get back in.
It shouldn't be okay for tomorrow. It's okay because it happened, but now as of tomorrow, it's not okay. I'm going to move on. I think that's the difference with the grace piece, because it's not the get out of jail free card for what I'm going to do. And I know that I'm not going to read tomorrow, or I'm not going to read for the next 6 months. We're not looking ahead, planning not to do it. But hey, I screwed up. I got off track, and I'm looking back on 6 months. But what I'm doing tomorrow, is I'm going to catch it up. And that's where the grace comes.
Yeah. I would argue, which is not even an argument with us, but I would say that if you spend grace in advance, if you pre-spend or if you pre-plan grace, you don't have grace at all.
I feel like it's going to be very limited.
You know, it is, oh, well,
If you're trying to predetermine what God will give you grace for, that's get some sketchy waters there.
make some good decisions.
Yeah. Try.
You just, all you gotta do is try. Because guess what? There's people that lived on the grace score, just like, man, God will take care of me. No, even if this doesn't work out, God will take care of me. Well, what is God telling you to do? I don't know, Wes. I don't really know what I should do, but God will. That's a little legitimate God. Read over what I should do. So I'm just going to do this, and God will work it out. That sounds cheap. Right along. I don't know. I'm just telling you how I felt about that conversation. That just sounds cheap.
That gets me into those thoughts of where we talk about that hyper grace in the world there.
We'll get into some of that hard stuff later.
I'm not really excited to really start digging into some of this. And I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm going to learn theology as I start to look into it and study it and try to understand it more. I feel like I'm going to learn more. Also, hopefully we can share our perspective on a lot of things. I'm really excited to see what this year holds.
We talked about in boldness.
Go in boldness. We talked about it before we turned the camera on, but I started this and asked you to join me in 2024. Had a lot of learnings, worked on this. Spent lots of hours working on this, learning some of the ins and outs, and I still don't have it all figured out. Eric, I'm gonna screw up some of this from a IT standpoint, more times than I can count, but get a lot. Kind of like, when I have time, kind of like, I'm going to pray, but I'll pray on Saturday whenever I'm not working, kind of make that, it's not like wholeheartedly into it, not everything. And we were talking about, do all work as if you're doing it for the Lord.
Really, you love it. Sweeping floors for Jesus, man.
I literally said it, if I was working at a store, at a grocery store, because that's my background, and I was a bagger. And if Jesus was my supervisor, I would have bagged the groceries the absolute best that I could because Jesus was standing there watching me. Well, if I'm working for the Lord, Jesus is standing there watching me.
He's watching you anywhere. He's watching you anywhere, but it's like, if I'm working for him, then why am I doing it kind of like, when I have some time or when I get around to that, I'll work on that, or not putting 100% into it. And I really think that's what a lot of this is going to go into this year, of being bold and just saying, hey, we're going to go out and really try to share this podcast. But I think it would benefit people just to hear just two simple guys hey, it's okay just to sit around and talk about Jesus. Mm-hmm.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
And we can have conversations. We laugh. It's okay. And we learn from each other. And we encourage each other. And we grow from it.
Let me share two challenges to both of us and to whoever. And this is, again, to both of us, so I'm saying this because I need to do it. In 2025, somebody asks for prayer, says, hey, will you add me to your prayer list? Or, hey, I need prayer. Normally, majority of the time, our response as a Christian church is, keep you in my prayers. Pray for them like it.
Stop and pray.
Stop and pray. You don't need a list. People, I don't know what, checking a list, making it twice, like somebody needs prayer. Pray for them in the moment, wherever it's at. And what was this? Said,
I want to spend all
Yeah.
time in what you think of the second one, because the other thing I like prayer, I think we get caught up into it, especially when you're not comfortable in prayer, that you think that, how do I pray for this person? And I have to say this, theologically trained prayer,
oh my,
it has to be wrapped in scripture that I don't have memorized and stuff like that. We get scared to pray. And sometimes it's just like, God, Jesus, we just need you here right now. And this person just needs your love. Comfort them. Be with them. God, it doesn't have to be paragraphs.
Thanks for joining us today. Unfortunately, as we still navigate our technology learnings, we lost the last couple of minutes of video. Eric shared with us the second challenge for 2025, this being in how we greet people. After asking how they are doing, we should respond with asking them how their relationship with the Lord is today. This type of greeting and sincere request to know how a person is will open doors of conversation around our Lord Jesus Christ. Lift each other up and be a point of loving accountability for our fellow Christians. We hope to have all technology issues solved by the next episode. We hope you got something out of this message for your spiritual growth. If you enjoyed the message, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and leave comments. Be sure to follow us on social media on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram by searching Faith into Action Podcast. You can now find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to follow and click the little bell for notifications so you will know when new episodes are available. God bless, and we hope you have a great week. See you next week.